Technical difficulties. You know, we have technical difficulties all the time as musicians. I want to talk about a story that I had where I dealt with technical difficulties. Maybe not in the best way. Maybe just kind of a humble brag, kind of a flex type of thing. But, I mean, it's gonna happen. You do all you can to prepare for when accidents happen in a show or for anything, and it sucks when you don't have the answers. And I learned very quick, it's good to have an extra pack of strings, for one, because if you break a string during a performance and you can't replace it, and if you can't finish the song, it sucks. It just is so demotivating. And plus, strings don't even cost that much. It's so easy to replace them. So I remember doing a talent show once, and I broke a string mid-song, and I practiced the song a lot, and it was like an Ingve song, and you know, it was a whole thing, and I was like, ah man, well, I had to, you know, scrap that performance. It sucked. And so I learned, okay, get a pack of strings. The other layer of like preparing for accidents is bringing an extra guitar. You might only have one guitar, but if you have two, it's good, because then you don't even have to change a string. You just switch the guitar. But then it might be in a different tuning or something, or maybe you're using that guitar for something else. But either way, you bring in another guitar. And I had, you know, I would have it where I would have my guitar set, and I knew exactly where it was. You know, so I didn't have to like open up a bag or do anything and waste time during a song, because that's the real trick. You want to be able to handle pressure with as much, you know, coolness as possible. So I think step one, you gotta keep your cool during challenges. Okay, the story I want to tell. I was playing a musical called Rock of Ages. I was playing in Titusville, Florida. This was back maybe 2017, maybe the start of the year, maybe 2016, the end of the year. It might have been 2017. And it was great because it was a month-long gig. I booked this gig after playing Rock of Ages in Reno, and it was a standalone theater, and they were selling the stage. And I talked with the producer before that gig ended, and I was like, hey, I'd like to get another gig. I mean, what else are you guys doing? I mean, we could do this show again. They're like, oh yeah, we're selling the stage. Maybe, you know, I'll talk with the producer or the theater owner. And, you know, so I worked out a deal that I came with the stage. And it was fun. I lived right next to the theater. I could just get up and like 10 minutes before show, I'd just walk over and then play the show. It was awesome. It was super easy. I remember I brought my own amp. It was like a small regional theater, not very high budget. A lot of the people that worked there were just community. You know, I don't know if they were getting paid or anything. I'm not really sure of anybody's deal, but you know, I was the outsider. Everybody else was local. Florida's great, by the way. Great weather, beautiful women. It's fun. Love the food there. I don't know. It's awesome. So I brought my Marshall MG100 amp, which was a solid state amp. I had loose pedals. I didn't have like a pedal board. It was so low tech what I had. I was not prepared at all, because I mean, I only had like a few professional gigs and I only made so much. I had all kinds of technical problems. I unplugged at the start of the show, you know, throwing a kick, and then my guitar just comes unplugged, and it's like, ah, crap. Then I have to go back and plug it back in. I had like smoke and pyrotechnics going on, and you know, so I'm like got no sound at the beginning of the show, which is like the biggest guitar solo moment. So that happened a bunch. You know, and like dealing with that, and then going to different guitar stores and trying to, you know, hash out my problems. My amp was old, and so I think the transformer in it would crap out, and so I had to like, I don't know, I had to like beat on the amp to get it to work. And I remember sometimes, you know, it would like, you know, I'd turn it on and it would just like, just like do this insane sound, and I had to like hit it and it would stop. So I had to, you know, at some point I was like, man, like after this gig, I got to get a new amp, because this is it. You know, this is the last show. I'm gonna use this amp. I started getting more tools to like fix my guitars. I had my Made in Japan Strat, which is a great guitar. It had electric issues, like the input jack would sometimes, you know, it would get corroded, the wire, and so I had to do surgery on the guitar mid-show. So we're playing the show, input jack cuts out, I'm like, crap. So I had to go off stage. I had to go and solder my guitar, and I was like looking for my soldering iron. I might have even had to like go to, you know, the apartment that was next door to the theater where I was sleeping, and like grab my stuff. Like, 'cause I had to like run out of the theater, just run there, try to find my soldering iron, get it fixed mid-show. And I was like screaming, and like, you know, other actors like, what's going on? And, like, I didn't have like an extra guitar or something. I was just furious. I like lost my cool, and I was just like shouting, because I was like, man, I have no time. Like, I got to do this. And they like required me to get back on stage, because I had a moment where I had to punch the lead singer in the face. Like, that was an acting moment that I had to do. So like I was mid soldering wires and like trying to strip the, you know, the rubber or plastic or whatever, you know, the wire coating, you know, trying to get this to work, so I could get sound. And, you know, they were like, you got to get back on stage. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm doing surgery on my guitar. They're like, no, you have to do this. So like I went back on stage, you know, knocked out the singer, went back in, fixed my guitar, and Act 2, I was able to play and finish the show. This is the story. So, you know, I was able to solder my guitar mid-show and finish the show. You know, and I think from then, it gave me context of what I could do during a show, or what I could do to fix my own problems. Also, the next time I like encountered those kinds of situations, I was a lot more prepared, had a lot more cool head about it, because it was like, you know what? Why did I overreact? It's just a problem. It's just a technical issue. It's not that big of a deal. I have the tools to do it, and there'll be other shows. So most of the time when I go to a gig, I'll have either an extra guitar, I'll have extra strings. I think these kinds of things on the backs of guitars, the little locks, those are super good. I also need to clip these. I know that's probably like annoying for people to look at, but like I'm also just kind of lazy. So I'm not really doing anything with that. I also haven't played this guitar in a while. But yeah, having those kinds of like, you know, locking screws are super helpful, because you just string through and then just plug, you know, tighten it up, and then just, you know, tighten the string, and it's like pretty much good to go. It's probably some of the quickest string changes. Floyd Rose guitars, I feel like take a lot longer, you know, with the Lego blocks and like the fine tuners, and then you have to like unlock these. There's a lot of things to do. But people love playing Floyd Rose tuners, tuning systems. There's some people that just don't break strings and they don't have these issues. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's people that just like never have technical problems. I feel like I have to battle all kinds of technical issues. Maybe it's how I take care of my instruments. That's another thing that you could do is, you know, proper sound checks, taking care of your instruments, making sure cables are working and things like that every time you play. And it's a simple thing. Because I know every show, I feel like every show, and it's like a superstitious thing where there's a time where, you know, you're doing sound checks, and like you do the sound check and you check everything, meticulously. But then there's that one sound check where you and the sound guy just go, we don't have enough time. We'll do it. We'll skip it for now. And that's the thing that always has the problem. It's like, it's a curse. So you always gotta check. Never question, like checking or doing a line check or anything. You know, you always have to check, you know, your instruments. You gotta check your things. I've done a show where, you know, I had, like, over the weekend, like, you know, we played the week of shows, and then the weekend they had a different, like, a recital come in for the theater. And then they took out, like, our equipment and then, like, put it back up. Or, you know, they, like, yeah, I don't know, different things where they had to, like, unhook things. And I had a wireless system that they were excited about using, and they were trying to get this set up. And, you know, and I had to, like, switch mid-show to, like, use this wireless system, and they didn't have it hooked up. And, like, I had a solo feature. They're like, what's going on? Like, were you playing? Like, I don't know. Like, you look good up there. And I was like, man, that was embarrassing. Like, they didn't have me, like, they didn't turn me on or whatever. And so basically after the show, they're like, oh yeah, we didn't plug it in. Like, we didn't plug anything. Like, we didn't do a sound check. Like, we just skipped by. So always sound check. Always make sure everything is checked. Oh, it's your responsibility. It's your sound guy's responsibility. And I don't know. That was just a short story wanted to tell. So, anywho, check out my Patreon. Check out the starter pack. I teach guitar. These are basic lessons. I can teach you all the fundamentals. I want you to also check out the lessons. I have open slots. Come take lessons with me. I have a whole lot of experience playing in theaters and bands, and I can help you learn how to shred. So come join this journey with me. All right? Till next video.